welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
So under Dan Campbell, the Dolphins have changed in two major ways. Play selection. They're running the football more. That's been the one thing, physical football, running it. And because they're doing that, they're having success. 130 yards a game, rushing 6 touchdowns with Campbell at the helm of this team. Defense has come alive, too. They only had 1 sack first 4 games under Joe Philbin. 19 most in the league since. And what does that mean? The Dolphin stars playing like it. With Ndamukong Suh and Lamar Miller, you see their numbers. So, John, the stars being able to play like stars goes a little bit of a different change in philosophy.
And really what he's done, he's just brought a more spirited, they go out to practice, they do it in a hurry, hour and a half, fast and furious. He's challenged these players to play with great effort, and you're seeing it translate on the field.
And the Dolphins won the toss. They have elected to receive, and Jarvis Landry back to return kicks. The guy does it all. It was pouring an hour ago. It's not raining right now. It's supposed to rain during this game, so we will see. And here we go. And Miller, Landry it is, going to take it on out. And a good return. And he's got this wet crowd into it already as J.J. Wilcox on the stop. And we take a look at Ryan Tannehill in his 4th year out of Texas A&M. 15 straight games with a touchdown pass. He's got a long way to go to catch the guy we were talking to on the field earlier, Dan Marino.
Yes, he does. But you know what helps quarterbacks is running the football. You just chronicled the fact that they're running it often, they're running it well. Well, as a result, Ryan Tannehill's production has gone up over the last few weeks.
And so the Dolphins have it first. 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Going to hand off on this one. It is Miller, and a good run. There's that running game. It's Lamar Miller, and he's going to pick up 12 and a first down.
Now, Kevin, we've been talking about it all week. In your study, you realize this guy's the best player that nobody knows about in this league, Lamar Miller. He can do it all. He can run up the middle. He can run in the perimeter. He can catch the football. And then he can go the distance. He's a home run threat. A very good football player that I'm not so sure this nation knows about quite yet.
That's Deion Sims, the tight end, in motion. They will pitch it to Miller. Good cuts. And a good run again by Miller. 2 runs. First one picks up 12. This one's going to pick up 9. And a good start for this run game. And injuries are a factor. We told you in the open about Tony Romo back for the Cowboys, but there are some guys that are out in this one too. We'll tell you that after we look at the Dolphins and what they're all about this year. Well, they're 3-2 under Dan Campbell. We know that matchup to watch. We will show it to you. Ndamukong Suh and Zach Martin. That is going to be awesome on the line. And in a weird schedule work, Miami 5 of the last 7 games on the schedule here at home. Movement on the line. Looks to be on Dallas. Tannehill's going to keep it and run, and he's got a first down pending the penalty. So let's see what the penalty is. It looked like the Cowboys jumped. Jeff Triplett is our referee.
Offside, defense, the interior line. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And Kevin, 2 things on that play. First of all, that's what home cooking's all about. Being at home, you can manipulate the snap count. Tannehill does a great job from the shotgun of doing so. We also saw him run. He hasn't been doing it a lot this year. Dan Campbell was vocal this week. He wanted to see it more. We see it early. They thought it was set up well against this Cowboy defense.
Oh, this is a heck of a start for these Dolphins on the opening drive of the game. It's Landry in motion. They like to run him a lot. This time they'll fake and they'll throw it, and the ball is behind Jordan Cameron, and it's incomplete. And John, you know, this is a guy that was a Pro Bowl player a couple of years ago, caught 80 balls, and they asked Dan Campbell about it this week, and I think they want to call his number today.
Well, he said we're dying for Jordan to have a breakout game. He hasn't had that game down here as a member of the Dolphins. Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator, said he had a breakout week of practice. Now he's got to take it to.
So we get it on the field. He's had a little bit of a hamstring issue early in the year, but he's healthy now. 2nd down and 10, and they'll run it. And a short game on 2nd down. Mentioning the injuries and the things we were talking about with some of the key guys. Well, there's guys back like that man Sean Lee, number 50 for the Cowboys, but missing Morris Claiborne, the starting quarterback. And then for the Dolphins, they lose a starting tackle in Juwan James, who's been out for the last couple of weeks, and Jelani Jenkins, their outside linebacker. So, I mean, in that game against Philadelphia, they had so many injuries, they were picking linebackers up off the street and they were playing.
When you start seeing a bunch of 40 numbers at linebackers, that's trouble, and that's what they were playing with.
On a 3rd down and 8. We get a whistle here. There's confusion on the Cowboys side.
Timeout.
Yeah. Jeff Triplett's mic cut out, but it's a timeout for the Cowboys. They looked a little lost on that snap.
Well, they were showing pressure, and from the sidelines, it was obviously apparent that they were not lined up right. The prudent thing, you don't want it to happen, but when you're blitzing, touchdowns can happen when you aren't on your assignment. So the prudent thing to do was call the timeout, and that's what the Cowboys did.
John, I glazed over talking about the injuries, but for the Cowboys, having Sean Lee back, he was out 2 weeks with his 2nd concussion of the year. You can't just state enough how good this guy is.
He's a game changer for him. He's all over the field when he's out there. He's an emotional leader for this team. He's happy to be back, and he said, I just got to keep my tail out there now.
Third and 8. Tannehill with Tom over the middle, slings it and incomplete. Oh, now we see a catch. I thought that ball was bobbled. But that is going to be called a catch on the field.
Well, first of all, really nice protection by the Miami Dolphins offensive line, and a great anticipation throw by Ryan Tannehill.
That ball hit the ground. Let's see if the Cowboys throw the flag.
They already have.
I thought that hit the ground on the call, and it did. So Jason Garrett, it was Rashard Matthews, by the way, the one who caught it, or tried to catch it. But we'll look again. Jason Garrett's going to challenge this. And you can see there, but I think this angle's better. Let's watch.
See the ball hit the
Dallas
ground.
is challenging the ruling on the field of completing catch.
That's not even a question. Dallas will have this overturned, I'm sure. We'll take a break while they look at it. Back from Miami in a moment.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Transparency. There's nothing to hide.
We're back.
After review, the ruling on the field is changed. The pass is incomplete. Ball hit the ground. Receiver did not maintain possession of it. It'll be 4th and 8 at the 44-yard line. Please put 12:25 back in the game clock. Dallas is not charged a timeout.
Well, there's the explanation by Jeff Triplett, but pretty easy. I mean, nowadays, I don't think anyone knows what a catch is, but that one, very clear. The ball can't hit the ground, but you have to maintain control throughout the process. He did not.
All right, so overturned with that, a 4th and 8. They will punt it away. Matt Darr has been terrific this year. We'll punt it away as the rain is now back here in Miami. It was a factor early. It poured here yesterday. They played a team here yesterday, too, a college game. But the field looked in pretty good shape earlier. Here's the punt. Beasley. Dangerous to field the punt. He's going to let it go. And a great kick, and it goes out of bounds right around the 5-yard line. So Tony Romo will come on the field and have a long way to go. But this is a welcome sight for the Cowboys after 7 games where they went 0-7. Here is their leader back. Romo in there for Dallas.
Tony Romo, we talked to him the other night, and he said, look, I've been doing this for 20 years. Throwing the football's not a problem. That took me 2 days to get used to. What is somewhat of an issue, and he's going to have to get back in the flow, is the situational, the quick thinking, processing that needs to happen. Look for quick throws early to get Tony Romo in a rhythm.
It's raining, picking up steam here, too, in Miami. They go live formation, do the Cowboys. Here's McFadden, nowhere. Kelvin Shepard on the hit, maybe a half a yard. McFadden, by the way, is questionable today. He had tweaked his groin muscle in his Wednesday practice and was kind of limited the rest of the week, but he was good to go and cleared, so he is starting.
He's a guy, Kevin, is well known. See him, Dominican Sue. But McFadden has had a history of these soft tissue issues. They bring in Robert Turbin. There's Dominican Sue. I told you, I could have been more impressed with his play. A classic matchup right here between Zach Martin, one of the best guards in football, and Ndamukong Suh. Physical, tough player is going to be a great one to watch.
Draw, looking for something up the middle. Not much. It'll be a 3rd and long. So for these Cowboys, coming in at 2-7, the storylines with this team, well, they're multiple. Can Romo stop this losing skid? I mean, they've been in every game with the exception of the New England game. They just haven't made the plays late. And then getting Sean Lee back from a concussion, enormous on defense. Big plays in critical moments. We saw it last week. We had the game against Tampa Bay. Des Bryant drops a 3rd down, and he would catch 100 out of 101 times. Those are the things the Cowboys have not done in this losing streak. And so we have a 3rd and 6 on their opening series. And movement.
False start. Offense, number 71. Half the distance alone.
See La'el Collins, the left guard, the rookie. Romo not happy. 3rd and 6, very doable. 3rd and 11, 12. Now that gets tough. And so Lou Anarumo, the new defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. You're laughing at my Stanford math there. Lou Anarumo said, I'm expecting screens early. They don't want Romo getting hurt. Look for the Dolphins looking for the screen.
Here comes the wind and the heavy rain. 3rd and 10. And we get another whistle. This play is blown dead. You could hear the raindrops. That's how hard it's raining. You could hear that in your television. We'll discuss what this penalty is.
And I'm sure Romo's saying, geez, Tannehill, you get sunny skies. I have to come face this front coming back from a collarbone and torrential downpour.
Now, interesting. We had a conversation with Dan Marino on the field before and asked him about playing in the rain. And he brought up something I didn't even think of. He talked about
There is no foul on the play. The play clock did not started in error early.
well, what it does, it gives a couple of guys a chance to dry their hands. But John, he talked about the simple things. He said things like taking the snap become very hard.
Yeah, he said typically where your eyes are really downfield, now you got to really focus on catching it. So it's the little things that Dan thought was the tough part of playing in this type of weather.
3rd down and 10, backed up on their own end zone. Play clock's at 3. Pressure, Romo in trouble, shovels it to McFadden. What a play! McFadden is going to be, I believe, a hair shy of a 1st down, but somehow Romo avoids a safety.
How about Romo? He's out for 8 weeks, and let's just start off your first throw with a little left-hander. He spins out, does a tremendous job of eluding the safety. With his left hand, pushes it out to Darren McFadden. That's Tony Romo. He's Houdini back there.
That was unbelievable. Chris Jones to punt it away. And it's going to sail out of bounds right around the 45-yard line. So the Dolphins will have it for the 2nd time. They'll have good field position. We're scoreless. 1st quarter in Miami.
Today's game is sponsored by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home.
One second it's pouring here, then the sun comes out. Welcome to South Florida. So it was pouring on the Cowboys series, and then the Dolphins have the ball, and I said, oh, it could have nice and sunny. Good conditions for us.
That's home cooking.
Well, they have started off slow. You see the 1st quarter for Miami. It's been the worst in the league. They're trying to change that today. Bill Lazor, their offensive coordinator, his 2nd year here. Again, things have picked up, and they've run the ball better. They did on that 1st series when we're having to punt it away. Going to get Landry involved here on the quick hitter, and Landry is up near the 49-yard line. Game break time. Let's say hello to Kurt Menefee.
Well, hello there, Kevin Burkhardt. Say hello to Mike Sanchez and touchdown passes. He hooks up with Josh Huff. Of course, Sanchez getting the start for the injured Sam Bradford, and already he's got the Eagles up 7-0 over Tampa.
Kurt, thanks. So the Eagles off and running with Sanchez. A lot of backups playing this week. Obviously Peyton Manning out. That's the big story. With Osweiler starting. 2nd and 7. Tannehill on the keeper. Good couple of blocks. And then he's upended by Barry Church across midfield. So a 3rd and 5.
Remember Tannehill, he's plenty athlete. He is very athletic. He was a wide receiver at Texas A&M at first. He's talking about running the football and why he hasn't been doing it more. He said, we've played a lot of 3-4 teams. It doesn't set up really well. The Cowboys being a 4-3 team, they thought there was some yards to be had. They were going to do it more, and they're showing that early.
I thought he had that set up for a big game, but Barry Church blew right by Dallas Thomas. And so now a 3rd and 5. You see on 3rd down, Tannehill has really improved the last 5 games. Pressure, then an air it out, going to sling it deep. Landry, and he can't make the catch. He had it. He couldn't bring it down to the ground. It was Brandon Carr on the coverage.
Well, and frankly, Jarvis Landry, he did a great job of creating separation. They had a little traffic there. If Tannehill leads them, that may be a touchdown. Instead, it's an incompletion. It's a ball that should be caught by Landry, but Tannehill could have sure helped the situation by putting it out there in front of him.
And so Matt Darr will punt it away again. So the Dolphins waste good field position. Low line drive kick. Beasley let it go. It bounces into the end zone. So that's not what they wanted. Cowboys will have their 2nd possession and much better field position. Tony Romo says, yeah, can the rain stay away? It's Romo back on the field. 2nd series when we're back.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the Ford F-150. Every other truck is history. By Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box. Make any night a holiday. And by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Uncarrier.
First series for Tony Romo was in a monsoon, and he completed a left-handed pass. This one, a lot better, starting on their own 20. Scores in the first quarter here in Miami to McFadden. And he goes nowhere. We go back to week 2, Tony Romo, when he got hurt for the 2nd time in his career, fracturing that left collarbone. It was Jordan Hicks, the rookie linebacker. See, just kind of fell on him there. Cowboys won that game, and then they hadn't won since. So Romo back today, and how would he take the hits today? And there's Olivier Vernon on that first series. Just get that first one out of the way. We learned on the pregame with the guys.
Stop, drop, and roll. Tony's learned that fall, TB.
Howie and TB talking about having to take a fall. Romo, a lot of time. Witten makes a catch. Somehow split defenders, and Jason Witten has it for a 1st down.
If you want to understand what chemistry means on a football field, watch these two play together. Over the years, they've developed such a chemistry. They've always had it, but it's trust as well. Tony Romo trusts Jason Witten that if he throws it in tight windows like that, 82's coming out of there with it because he's done it so many times.
So there is Witten, 7 away from a little history for the Cowboys. 1,000 receptions. McFadden again trying to get him going. And he's got 4. Let's go down to the sidelines with Peter Schrager.
You know, Tony Romo came into this game and everyone's wondering what was he going to wear to protect that collarbone. It turns out it's not much. They put some lining on his t-shirt, not his jersey, not his equipment, but his t-shirt, which is a double XL that he wears underneath the jersey, and it's just on his left side protecting the part that got broken. His right side is completely fine. That's his throwing arm. He wants to be mobile.
What did he say to us yesterday about that? He said, yeah, I told the guys, oh, this will save me for sure.
I got Ndamukong Suh on me. That Kevlar pad's going to help me.
There's Suh, 2nd down. Romo has time. Looking for Beasley, and the short jacket in the throw, incomplete.
Kevin, we talked about the battle between Zach Martin right here and Ndamukong Suh. Watch the brutality, the brute force that these guys play with. It's going to be classic because you're talking about 2 of the best at their position, 2 of the strongest. A stalemate right there, but we'll watch that throughout the day, and that will be fun to watch.
That's McFadden lined up now as a wide receiver. 3rd and 6. Four-man rush. Romo delivers. This is right around the marker. The initial marking looks short from upstairs. There's Gavin Escobar on the catch. Well, let's see what spot. That's the important call here. Looks to be a little short. Assuming they will measure. And this is intriguing if it is indeed short.
I think Jason Garrett wants a measurement. He's asking for the measurement. But he did not hesitate to send his offense in, and they are going to get this measurement.
They bring on the extra lineman, and the measurements will give Garrett a chance to think. Let's watch. I thought initially when he caught it, he was a little short.
It's a good spot.
Yeah.
Just short. Remember, that's not an official line, yellow line, but just short of the line to gain, and that's exactly where they marked it.
But you see it's not much. So Garrett initially sent Charles Brown an extra tackle onto the field. I mean, it's a football and a half. With the indication they were going to go. Let's see if he sticks with that.
Well, I think Jason Garrett, he understands a 2-7 team. He's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You got to play to win. But I would also not be surprised. Tony Romo, one of the better hard counters in this league, if he gets up there and tries to draw the Miami Dolphins off sides. If you're the Dolphins, watch the football. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, so to speak, with Tony Romo's hard count.
Last we saw a 4th down with Tony Romo and Jason Witten, who was in the playoff game against the Lions last year, led them to a game-winning score. And the sun comes out, and it's a 4th and 1 and a big play early from Miami. McFadden's got it.
Well, Jason Garrett is thinking had to go something like this. I've got the best offensive line in football. I'm going to use it. You watch the surge in that left side, you get the movement. That's exactly what you want. Darren McFadden's a guy. If you just give him a little crack, he'll find it and he'll hit it. And that's exactly what Jason Garrett was hoping for, and they got it.
Yeah, baby is right. So a little momentum for this Cowboys offense. 7th play of the drive coming up. Keith Whitehead comes in the game as a wide receiver now, the rookie. That's him in motion. But they'll run it to McFadden, left side. And he's met some resistance in the running game early. He's going to pick up 3. Another game break. Let's check back in with Kurt.
And another touchdown in the Washington-Carolina game with Panthers up 7-0. Kirk Cousins finds a wide open Deshaun Jackson. 56-yard score. Jackson's first touchdown of the season. He's been battling injuries. He had 7 in the first. Kevin, John, and Peter.
Kurt, thanks. Kirk Cousins coming off a 324-yard 4-touchdown game last week. He's hot.
He is. Deshaun Jackson's like that hamstring all right. The explosiveness that he brings.
Fake to McFadden. Romo all day firing behind Dez Bryant. So he had Bryant on the hook, but Romo just missed him. It'll be a 3rd down.
Now, Tony said, look, I haven't played in 8 weeks. There's going to be some adjustments. I'm going to miss some. He did talk about the weather. He said, look, the rain, not a big deal. If it's a torrential, your percentage goes down. If you're normally 72%, you'll probably be about 55%. If it's slightly raining, you go down to about 65%.
Romo looks to be changing the play. Has time. Play clock at 3. 3rd and 7. And now discombobulation on the field. We get a whistle and we get a timeout. Miami needed it, so they call it. Dolphins call a timeout on 3rd down for the Cowboys. Still scoreless in the first quarter. Jason Garrett on the left. Dan Campbell, 6 games into his head coaching career on the right. Youngest coach in the league at age 39. Probably could also beat up any other coach in the National Football League. 3rd down and 7.
There's no probably in that. They're showing pressure. Romo so active at the line of scrimmage. This is something we have not seen with Brandon Weeden or Matt Gassel. He'll get them in the right play.
As a snap, it's a Four-man rush coming near his eye, and he has got the completion. He's up with Dez Bryant, and it's a first down for the Cowboys.
A great example. Tony Romo will get him in the right play, and he'll get him the right protection. They show the blitz, they back out, but Tony Romo finds Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant will be covered by Brent Grimes throughout the day. They're going to follow him, so that's a matchup to watch as well.
On first down, now from the 37, it is McFadden. And bounce it outside and does. Good run by Darren McFadden. Looked like there was nothing there initially, but he's going to pick up about 6.
This is actually a bust. You watch Lyle Collins pulling when the play was going the other way. A bust, but McFadden with his speed takes advantage of the younger Miami linebackers and just beats them to the edge. Little stutter, and the speed that Darren McFadden possesses finds positive yards on a busted play.
McFadden couldn't get going last week, but Tampa Bay loaded up the box. He had 17 carries for 32 yards. 7 carries, 21 yards early going. Fake. Romo knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I think it was Jordan Phillips, the rookie. Got his hands on it. Dolphins took him with a second-round pick. There he is. And another third down. A third down and 4 coming up.
Talk about something that suffered without Tony Romo. It's third down. Last year, 47%. Second in the NFL. This year, just 37th. About middle of the pack, 17th. So they expect to be better in these situations with Tony Romo at the helm.
5 wide for Dallas on a 3rd and 4. Pressure. Romo gets rid of it. He's got a completion and a first down. It is Escobar again, the tight end over the middle for a gain of 15.
Well, one of the things you notice with Tony Romo is he doesn't discriminate. If you're open, he'll throw it to you. And as a result, he spreads the football a lot more than Matt Castle, who was just learning the playbook. He was looking to his stars. Tony Romo will get guys like Escobar. Terrence Williams is another guy who went quiet. And you see Ndamukong Suh just letting Tony know that he's there.
There is Suh. Cowboys have Devin Street in the game, top of your screen. Dez Bryant on the bottom. Covered by Grimes. They'll fake the run. Romo going end zone. Diving! Incomplete. What an effort. Again, looking for Escobar. Just missed.
That was a tremendous play action fake by Romo, and the throw just out of the outstretched arms of Gavin Escobar, who has it in his hands but can't bring it in. See the hit by Olivier Vernon, but that play action, Philly had great success with the play action with the younger linebackers in there. Dallas looking to take advantage of it early.
Vernon isn't getting the sacks, John, but he had 6 quarterback hits last week. He's already got 2 today, number 50 on Miami. A spinning draw on McFadden, and he's tripped up inside the 15. Rashad Jones, the safety, made the tackle after a 5-yard run.
You know, Romo is one of those guys, you just said a spinning draw. He sets up like it's fast, reverses out. It's just fun to watch him play. I'm not so sure there's a quarterback other than Peyton Manning who's more active at the line of scrimmage. Fun to watch him with all these hand signals. He's a demonstrative player at the quarterback position.
Well, you talked about those third downs last year and this year, John. Today, 2 of 4. This is a 3rd down and 6.
See him up there. He's hiding under the lineman with the hand signals. Gonna get him in the right play.
Romo to throw. Gets decked. Has low. It's intercepted. And it's picked off by Grimes. And we get a flag as Grimes is taken down by McFadden. Romo got decked and the throw was short. It's Miami's football pending the penalty.
Tony Romo not happy with Dez Bryant. It looks like Dez Bryant and Tony Romo on a different page in terms of the route. Romo threw it out there, trusting Dez on the fade. Instead, Dez Bryant broke inside. Romo was not happy.
During the return, personal foul. Low block. Number 94 of the return team half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10, Miami.
You see the route. Romo throws it up, expecting the one-on-one, and he likes that. Des Bryant instead goes inside. An obvious miscommunication.
Dallas has a nice drive, but they come up short, and Miami takes over. Scoreless late first quarter. Now the first turnover in the red zone in a long time for the Cowboys. They got some pressure and a little miscommunication, and Brent Grimes, their star corner who was out last week, he had a crazy late bout of food poisoning. Good to have him back for Miami. Scoreless late first quarter, their football backed up around their own 10. They're going to run it on first down, and that is not going to go anywhere. Jay Ajayi, the rookie, gets the carry.
Well, Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, said he promised we've got to hit him early. You see the pressure. McFadden does a great job, but you see Romo waiting. He's expecting something else from Des Bryant, but that doesn't absolve him. At some point, you either got to throw the ball away or eat it and kick the field goal. See the pressure up the middle. Romo wait for Des. It never happens at that point. Just eat it.
Here's Ajayi. Coming near side, there's a flag, gets a good block, first down and more, but a penalty back in the area of a possible hold. So let's see what Jeff Triplett says.
Holding number 74 of the offense. After the goal, still 3rd down.
Jason Fox playing right tackle the last couple games. Juwan James, their normal starter, injured his toe last couple of weeks. He's been out.
Jason Fox, the right tackle. They're in a little unbalanced line, and he's working against Greg Hardy. Gets outside the framework of the body. That's right in Jeff Triplett's view. And when you get outside the framework of the body, they're going to call that 90% of the time.
Dolphins backed up on their own 5. Second down. Give up the middle. Ajayi breaks through one tackle, but not much. Going to give him about 2.5 yards. Nick Hayden was there first, and that should take us to the end of a scoreless, sometimes soggy first quarter here in Miami. So what's the story? It's Romo, it's the rain, and it's no points after one. Scoreless, Dolphins and Cowboys. Start of the second quarter from Miami. Dolphins and Cowboys are scoreless. Dolphins have a 3rd and long right here. 3rd and will call it 11. Damian Williams checks in the game at running back, number 34. Tannehill has it locked up, and it's picked off, and it's going to be a touchdown. Rolando McClain for 6.
Rolando McClain, Kevin, we talked about it, had his best game of the year last week versus Tampa Bay. Came off the suspension, finally had his legs underneath him. He's a difference maker when healthy. You see him bluff the blitz, and then he's going to come back. Simply read the eyes of Ryan Tannehill. That's easy pickings for Rolando McClain. Ryan Tannehill never sees him. Really a nice job by McClain, reading the eyes, also reading the route. Rolando McClain with the pick 6 for the Dallas Cowboys.
First pick 6 of his career. And so all the fanfare of Tony Romo back, and the Cowboys get aboard with their defense. So McClain, who, you know, this year just didn't start well for him. It's the first 4 games because of the substance abuse policy, suspended by the league, dealt with a couple of injuries. It just wasn't right, but I know you feel that last week was his game of the year.
He just looked like a different player, and I think they're different defense when he's such a force. He's so long in the middle of that field. He's a game changer, and so Todd Marinelli, the defensive coordinator, said, look, you go back to training camp, was injured, he had health issues, then suspended for 4 weeks. So his legs were not underneath him. He was awful a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Tampa looked like the guy I saw in 2014, and that's a good sign for the Dallas Cowboys.
Dan Kimball now has to see his team try and come from behind, which By the way, they were last week. They were down 6-3 to the Eagles with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and they ended up winning that game.
Yeah, you're going to have to draw upon that experience. We chronicled that they're slow starters. That's got to change. But knowing that you can, if you just stay the course, come back like they did last week against the Eagles, that's important and gives this team confidence moving forward.
Whistle low, so this kick does not count. Not sure why.
There is no kick, as the officials were not in position for the kickoff.
Okay, here's Jason Garrett.
That guy was in position. Rolando McClain, Jason Garrett, proud of him, happy for him, and got points on the board.
I'll tell you one thing. You're around Jason Garrett, he feels like a head coach. He is a leader, and this has not been the easiest time to be a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. But I thought when he was talking to us yesterday, he said something interesting, and I know the defense just scored, but he said, what does Tony Rowe do coming back? He spreads the burden.
And you know, I think what he means by that is that he makes everyone great players and make everyone around him better.
Yeah.
We'll say, how does he affect the defense? It's confidence. It's knowing I can take a chance because our quarterback can bail me out. It's playing with leads, and turnovers happen. You notice they haven't had many turnovers because they've been playing real tight games or from behind. With Romo last year, they played a lot ahead, and their turnovers came their way.
No, it's a great point. They had only 4 takeaways coming into last week. They picked off 2 balls from Jameis Winston, and then that. So that started to turn around from a team that was second in the league in getting turnovers last year. Hey, Thanksgiving weekend, we've got some of the best rivalries in college football, including the game of the week on Saturday. Notre Dame takes on Stanford. I don't know, John, you might be a little interested in that. Must-win game for both teams and their playoff hopes. It all starts Thursday on FS. It's going to be a heck of a game.
It really will. Talk about physical football. The Stanford Cardinal and Notre Dame been fantastic with their backup quarterback. They've been fun to watch. And in Fenway last night, that was awesome.
Dolphins at Earl Mitchell at fullback position. They're going to flip it near side to Miller. He's got a lot of room to run, and Miller's the first down. So how about that? They had the defensive tackle at fullback that time.
Earl Mitchell in, so what do? You fake it to Earl Mitchell. That caused the defense, but this is what you want, Lamar Miller. Watch Lamar Miller at the end inviting the defender, Jeff Heath, to come his way. He wanted to hit. Walter Payton would be proud, not getting out of bounds, calling the guy out and running through him.
Lamar Miller, keep feeding him the ball. He's got 4 carries for 38 yards to start this game. Damian Williams in the game at back. Will fake to him. Pressure. Tannehill escapes, dumps it to Williams. Flag flies, lead high pursuit. And it's going to be a lot of everything for no gain, but now there's a penalty, so maybe Miami goes backwards. So the closing speed of Sean Lee there. Wait for Jeff Triplett to figure this out. He told us, John, even last week, the Cowboys kept him out for the concussion protocol. But he said he felt fine even last week.
Holding offense, number 80. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Kevin, I think that was a smart move. You got to play like that. There's Deion Sims, who the hold was on. Barry Church blitzing at the safety position. They call the hold, but Sean Lee finishing that play. That's what he brings to this team. That sideline to sideline speed and pursuit. That's contagious. That gets everyone running to the football.
So after the hold, the first down 20. Dolphins backed up on their own 26. Miller back in the game. Tannehill on the keeper on the zone read. Good run, he gets hammered. Jeff Heath came in with a big hit. And now tempers flaring. Jarvis Landry in it with someone. Tannehill looks to be all right.
Hey, the crowd didn't like it. The Dolphins didn't like it. But Jeff Heath's doing his job. When you become a runner, Jeff Heath, no helmet-to-helmet contact, maybe dipping his head a little, but quarterback wants to run. He becomes a runner, and therefore a legal hit by Jeff.
A big hit for sure. He did gain 7, so a second down and 13. Blitz coming. Tannehill backs up and just throws it away. McClain was all over Lamar Miller.
Rolando McClain, he continues his good play. Here he is. He diagnoses the screen, and that's what you got to do when you're playing man-to-man. Don't wait, go get it, because it becomes a voided play at that point. Tannehill has nothing to do but throw it away. Rolando McClain raising his play, and that's a big plus for this defense.
Blitz picked up. Tannehill near side, incomplete. He was going for Rashard Matthews, but he couldn't connect, and the Dolphins will have to punt it away.
You see the pressure. Sean Lee comes out. Here comes the nickel. Patman puts the pressure on. Tannehill hung in there well, but just a little bit errant in his throw to Matthews.
So the Dolphins 0 for 4 on third down today. Been a bugaboo for a lot of the year, even though they've been better of late. Today, struggling. Low snap Dar. This is Whitehead going to field at the 18. Make that the so Whitehead. We get a flag on the far side of the field. Hold on 1 second. There's a penalty. There is McClain with his defense with the interception for a touchdown, and that good coverage on that screen play with this penalty is.
Dirty kick. Holding. Return team number 15. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
All right, so Devin Street, so the Cowboys will back up, but it will be their football, and they're up 7-0 on these Dolphins as we look at the hold right there.
Today's Game Odds is sponsored by Cricket Wireless, the Merrier Carrier. By Pepsi, the official soft drink of the NFL. And by Citizen Echo Drive, fueled by light. It never needs a battery.
Oh, the traffic is always slow on South Beach. Taking in the weather and the sights, and we're taking it in Duncan Sue facing this great Cowboys offensive line. That matchup to watch. First and 10 for Dallas. They'll run it. McFadden. Left side. He's got a good game. Going to pick up 4 on first down. There's Sue on the stop.
Here's Ndamukong Suh right here. He's a little zone blocking by the Cowboys. Going to be working against Doug Free. I got to tell you, though, Kevin, my respect level. Last week versus the Philadelphia Eagles, because of the tempo of the Eagles, this defense played 88 plays. There were really 98, 10 penalized. He played 81 of them, and his effort in that game, dominant, but all-out effort on every 81 of those snaps. It was an incredible game to watch.
That really is something. Run it again. McFadden left side, and a struggle for a couple of yards. Kevin Shepard, the middle linebacker, makes the call. He hasn't missed a snap yet today. He faces Cowboys offensive line in the playoffs last year with the Lions. He is a little familiar.
He was a little hesitant. I offered to him, yeah, you're going up against the best offensive guard in football. And he said, I think he's one of the best. I'm not ready to give him that yet. And he also said that the Cowboys, they like to fish. They like to have your hands on each other. I don't play that game.
The Dolphins could use him here. Third down and 4.
Sue lined up inside.
They double team him. Romo, this has time going for Bryant, and they can't connect today. They've had a hard time, even though he does have 1 catch. That time, incomplete. The Cowboys will punt.
You know, and one of the things that Dan Campbell, we showed earlier, 1 sack before Dan Campbell, 19 after. Well, part of the reason they've done a great job of stopping the run since Dan Campbell has been head coach. That puts them in better third down situations. The other thing is they're letting them rush more. They were doing more blitz. That takes a guy like Sue out of the game. You need to let him tee off, and that's what they've been doing of late.
There's an open Cowboy at the bottom of the screen. Now they could have thrown it to him for a first down. low sinking punt. Jarvis Landry has a punt return touchdown here. And he's looking to make a spin move, but defense well by the Cowboys. Up to the 42. 12-yard return. Miami football. Cowboys, though, in the lead. Campbell, I mean, it feels like he just got done playing. He's only 39, 10-year career. Yeah, he played for the Cowboys for a few years, and there's catching a touchdown from Drew Bledsoe. He was teammates with Witten and with Romo, and later in his career in New York, he was teammates with Jason Garrett. So there's a lot of familiarity here, and he's a Texas kid who grew up and a Cowboys fan, and his favorite player was Danny White, who's in the building here today calling Cowboys radio. So there's a lot of symmetry with Campbell in his 6th game as an NFL head coach. Tannehill is going to go a quick hitter, dropped by Landry. You know, I think with Campbell, there's one way of looking at it. Hey, well, it's easy if the team's having success. Of course, it's a head coach, but there are definitely things he's doing differently. And the thing is, with competition, he had this quote I thought was great, John. He said, you put people in the position to either rise or be exposed, and you get the best out of it.
He had coaches running one-on-one drills the other day. He just wants to have fun. He says the best teams I've been on have been incredibly tight, but incredibly competitive, and I can't agree more with him.
Here's Miller, tries to go to the outside, and he is run down. Boy, Rolando McClain is having a game. Another terrific play. And it brings up a 3rd down.
But watch Rolando McClain, and this is why I say he's in the heart of that defense. When you're strong up the middle, he diagnoses it, he sees the pull, and then that sideline-to-sideline nature. He was not doing that 3 weeks ago. He's got his legs underneath him, and I keep saying it, but this guy's a difference maker. You have him playing at this level. You have Sean Lee back now. Hitchens playing well. This linebacking core is back for the Dallas Cowboys.
3rd down and 11. 0 for 4 on 3rd down today are the Dolphins. Tannehill, he's got all day. Looking, throwing, coming back to make the catch is Cameron, but that's not going to be enough for a 1st down.
Cameron had gotten to the sticks, but as the ball was traveling, he did what you're supposed to do, come back, but that left him short of the line.
So Miami now 0 for 5 on 3rd down. 4 of them have been 3rd and longs. They're not putting themselves in good position here. And they will punt it again.
Give credit to Rod Marinelli's defense. You got to earn the right to rush the passer, putting themselves in those favorable 3rd down situations. The 3rd and longs working out well for the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's Darr. Led the league in gross average coming in at 49 yards. Good high kick. Beasley lets it go over his head. Takes a nice Miami bounce. Going to be down just outside the 5-yard line. So, Cowboys defense is doing their job today. And now we get to see Tony Romo on the field. 7-0 Cowboys lead it here in the 2nd.
Today's game is sponsored by Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online. Sign up now.
Well, the sun is out now. It's been for a little while. We had heavy rains earlier and then a little rain in the 1st quarter, but the big thunderstorms that they had predicted have stayed away so far for a little while. Cowboys up 7-0 in the 2nd quarter. They start this possession on their own 7-yard line. Robert Turbin and running back in the game. Ball is tipped and it's incomplete. There you see Turbin in the game. Jordan Phillips got his hand on that one. 2nd time today he's tipped the ball at the line of scrimmage.
Jordan Phillips has been part of this front 4 that's active for the Miami Dolphins, doing a nice job getting his hands up.
Couple sacks this season, which is a good number midway point for the interior line, which is where he plays. It's Terrence Williams in motion. And they'll give it to Turbin up the middle.
I chuckled when Jason Garrett said, yeah, I talked to Robert, who they signed this week. Tuesday night, late Tuesday, he was at Newark Airport. Wednesday, he's in there doing walkthroughs. And Jason said he looked like he belonged, and so we said, you know what, we're going to play him. McFadden was a little nicked. They needed another back. They liked Turbin for a long time. This is his first week being here, but running back a little easier than most positions to come in and play.
I asked Jason if he wanted to place a call to Marshawn Lynch. They've signed like 3 Seattle running backs off the waiver wire just out of coincidence. And he's finally giving Darren McFadden a little bit of a rest. 3rd down and 8. Delayed blitz. Romo in trouble, and he's sacked. They get to Romo, Olivier Vernon.
Kevin, you mentioned it earlier. Olivier Vernon only has 2 sacks coming in. He's just going to come off that corner, but he is consistently around the quarterback. Duck free, gets flat out beat with the speed rush, and Tony Romo goes down for the Cowboys.
There's a late penalty, far side of the field.
Defense, number 22.
Huge.
The 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Whoa, what a killer. That's Jamar Taylor, and that negates the sack and them getting the ball back.
Well, here he is working against Terrence Williams. That's a tough call. You can't quite see it from that angle, but that really hurts as the Dolphins were off the field with the sack.
Enormous penalty, which keeps this Dallas drive alive. 8:26 to go in the first half. They'll run it again, trying to get Turbin, the former Seahawk, involved, and he's got himself a nice run. He's out across the 21-yard line for a 7-yard gain.
Really nice patience in the run by Turbin. Doesn't hit it right away. Kind of stretches it and then gets downhill and finds some positive yards. 7 yards for Turbin on that carry.
So a 2nd down and 3. McFadden, the thing about him, as good as he's been last month, John, he's been the workhorse. I mean, he's carried almost every single one, so they need someone to give him a little bit of a break. Christian Michael did not work out, and they released him for Turbin. Seahawk for Seahawk. Bounces off 1 tackle, but that time is going to be taken down just shy of the 1st down. So remember, the Cowboys, of course, didn't sign DeMarco Murray. We went to Philadelphia. These are all the running backs that have put on a Cowboy uniform since camp started. That's a lot of running backs, John.
It's a lot, too many to count. And you see they got 4 running backs with the carry. But I understand the price tag was high for DeMarco Murray. But Kevin, I can't tell you, he was such a good fit. Led the NFL in rushing, and they haven't been the same since they got rid of him. Obviously, Romo's been out, but I think Murray not being here is a huge factor.
Cowboys go jumbo, extra tackle, bring in the fullback, give it to McFadden, looking for a yard, and he's got it. And he's got a 1st down. So on a couple of those 3rd and shorts, Darren McFadden gets the job done.
That was good, strong running by Darren McFadden. He's hit short of the line to gain and then runs through. Watch him. Little penetration from Jordan Phillips, but then he runs and carries Jordan Phillips, goes right over Jordan Phillips for the 1st down.
On 1st down, Romo gets rid of it. Good catch. There's Brian on the money. Brett Grimes was right there, but the pass and the catch were perfect, and that'll be a 1st down.
There's that connection we've seen be so productive for the Cowboys. Great anticipation by Romo. Des Bryant does a tremendous job looking that football in and delivering for Tony Romo.
So remember, this drive was over, but the big holding penalty on Jamar Taylor. And now all of a sudden the 7th play of the drive for Dallas, which started in the shadow of their own end zone. It's Turbin again, getting some reps, breaking through. Robert Turbin! And he's knocked out of bounds. That was the last line of defense. It was Grimes who saved the touchdown, but they're getting a big boost from Robert Turbin here.
In Newark Airport Tuesday night, running through the Dolphins defense on Sunday. Turbin churning those legs, looking like his old teammate Marshawn Lynch running through the Dolphins defense.
4 carries, 28 yards for Turbin. He's been effective here. It's Lucky Whitehead in motion. And they'll fake pressure. Here comes Vernon again, and Romo goes down. Olivier Vernon is getting to the quarterback today.
Well, Vernon did it from the right side, beating Doug Free on the holding pit. And now he says, let me try the other side, and I'm going to run by arguably the best left tackle in football, Tyron Smith. Olivier Vernon putting on a clinic. Doesn't matter where you line him up, he's getting it done. We talk about patience from runners. There was an example of patience from a rusher. Got him with the stutter, then the speed for Olivier Vernon.
So he would have had another sack, but that was negated by penalty. He's already had a couple quarterback hits. He has been very effective today. And remember, they're playing without Cameron Wake, their best defensive lineman, out for the year with a ruptured Achilles the last couple weeks. 2nd and 13. It's a 4-man pressure. Romo in trouble. Spins away. Stays on his feet. Throws. And I think we have a catch, do we? Yes, we do. Devin Street going low to make the grab. What a play.
Vintage Tony Romo. Bumbling, stumbling, finding his way out of the pocket, and then eyes downfield finding Devin Street. He almost falls. Legs not quite underneath him, but has the aptitude to keep his eyes downfield, and Street brings in the catch.
Great catch. McFadden now tackled immediately by Rashad Jones, the safety.
Rashad Jones, Kevin, he's one of the better safeties in this league. Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, said this week, you show me a better one. I'm not so sure if he's the best. I think there's some guys in Seattle that might have an argument there, but he does things at the safety position. He can cover in the pass game. He can stop the run as a linebacker, and he can blitz. He does everything very well. Top flight player in this league.
Long drive for Dallas. As winding down to 3 minutes left in this first half. This is McFadden trying to get outside. Flag flies from the backfield. It might be on Tyron Smith. He got beat on the sack moments ago.
Holding, number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Let's have a game break now. Checking in with Mike Hill.
We got a wild one going on in Philly. Bucks and Eagles. Darren Sproles gets the little dump pass from Mark Sanchez, and the little man does it all by himself. 35 yards for the score, 21-14 Bucks. Jameis Winston does have a career-high 3 touchdown passes all in the first half. Back to you, Kevin and John.
All right, Mike, thanks. Well, we saw Winston. We met with him last week. It's getting better and better.
He is. Sproles been good for a long time.
It really is. 2nd down and 21. Flag flies. So movement.
False start. 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's on Doug Free. There's Lou Anarumo. You know, when the Dolphins fired Joe Philbin, they instituted Dan Campbell. Then 2 days later, he filed Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator. And Anarumo was the secondary coach and bumped him up. And Anarumo and Coyle were best friends. So it was not the easiest thing to do, but he's done a nice job in these 5 games.
He really has. He's simplified. He's pulled back. Less is more type of attitude, and it's worked. They're playing better football on the defensive side of the ball.
2nd and 26 helps when you're a defensive coordinator. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Snap comes late. That'll be the 2-minute warning. Cowboys on the move, up 7. Get apps, videos, and more at iTunes.com/NFL. So 2 minutes to go in the first half. 7-0 Cowboys. Tony Romo in his return. Some good, some bad. 7 of 14, 84 yards, and a touchdown. The Cowboys score, though, came off of Orlando McClain interception return for a score. How about this, though? From Miami on offense, Ryan Tannehill, 2 of 9 for 12 yards.
This Dallas defense has been good. We talked so much about this Dallas defense starting to show signs of life. What they have to do now is finish. And you see, talking about defense under Lou Anarumo, this pass rush has come alive for the Miami Dolphins.
He's got 1 sack so far today, and this is a 2nd and 27. Four-man rush. Romo pocket lapsing around him. Hits Terrence Williams for a grab. He's going to pick some of that back and get back near the original line of scrimmage down to the 31. And Terrence Williams is a guy that's completely disappeared from this Cowboy offense.
He had 9 catches in his first 2 games with Tony Romo. He's at 25 now, but he just hasn't been a constant presence. Jason Garrett talked about why he's so critical. Des Bryant gets a lot of attention. Jason Witten get a lot of attention. Cole Beasley does at times. He's one-on-one. You can make him pay.
Just a 17th catch in the last 8 games. The guy was a big-time player, but maybe Romo gets him back involved. Play clock 4. 3rd and 10. Pressure picked up by McFadden. Romo coming near for Williams. He's got it. He's involved now. Touchdown.
Terrence Williams. I promise you he's happy to have Tony Romo back. He's working against Jamar Taylor. One-on-one coverage. The other corner, Bryce McCain tries to come over late. A well-thrown ball by Romo, and that's what you have to do. High point the ball as a wide receiver. Terrence Williams does it beautifully.
It's a 31-yard hookup from Romo to Williamson. That'll get involved. His 3rd touchdown of the year. That's a big score. Cowboys.
Touchdowns, sportsmanlike conduct. Number 88 and 83. Dallas. That 15-year penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
It could be an interesting penalty on the kickoff. With Miami with 2 timeouts left, that could give them some decent field position.
Absolutely. Those things hurt, but more so the Dallas Cowboys just thrilled to have Tony Romo back because of the possibilities. Those type things, those big plays is what this offense has been lacking without Romo. And now they found it by way of Romo to Terrence Williams.
You talked about the big plays. Coming into today, they had 21 passes of 20 yards or more. That was worse than the league. Extra point is up, and it is good. The first offensive touchdown for the Cowboys in 7 quarters. It's been a while, but Dallas up 14-0 in Miami. Well, they called the penalty, and I think, John, by looking at this tape, it's for taunting, and I don't think it's there. I think it's at the end of this as Des Bryant and Williams were walking off. I think trash talk. I don't know. We're guessing. It's conjecture.
That's something Mike Pereira sends notes every week. Last week he said that the league was going to emphasize taunting. They did not. They felt like it was happening too much. Looks like they got the Cowboys there.
But look at this short kick, and Miami has 2 timeouts here, and they're going to have unbelievable field position up at the 47. Zach Vigil, the linebacker, is the guy that picked it up. They got a minute 2 to go and 2 timeouts, plenty of times. That's a huge penalty.
And remember, the Cowboys' problem has been finishing. That's finishing games. It's finishing halves. You have to finish. Penalties like that, beating yourself, the short kickoff. Now all of a sudden, Miami, plenty of time to put points on the board.
Well, as you can see, Tannehill has not had a good first half. But he's got to little minute 2 to make amends here. The official marked the ball at the 46. 3-man rush. Tannehill over the middle, and that is going to go nowhere. Landry made the catch. Now a flag comes from the other side of the field. He's got 2 yards. The clock will stop with 55 seconds left to sort out this penalty.
Illegal formation. Offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Number 74 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
This Cowboys defense is flying today, John.
That man right there, Rod Marinelli, I got to tell you, one of the finest coaches I've ever been around. He was a defensive line coach in Tampa. Hasn't had the results this year, but Kevin, you know him, positive. He thinks it's coming. He really believes this defense is a good defense. They're showing it with the way they're playing today.
1st and 15. Tannehill stands in, going deep far side. Landry! That's a great catch, matched up against Aaron
a lot as a rookie. A lot has been asked of him. He's played free safety. He's strong. He nickelback now at the corner, and he finds out what life on that island is like in the NFL.
47-yard gain. Tannehill far side incomplete. Looking for Jordan Cameron. It was J.J. Wilcox on D. But 23 seconds left. Obviously in field goal range. Timeout, so they can do whatever they want here.
Absolutely, and I think you got to be aggressive. 3 points would be nice, but you want to score 7. I think you got to take some shots at the end zone. It's where Jordan Cameron could be a big part of what you want to do.
Now, they didn't call a timeout after that. It took a while for the team to run down the field. But, you know, now they have 2 timeouts, so they could run any play they want these next 2 instead of a field goal if they don't get it. Second down. Tannehill pressure. Rolls. Looking, firing. Caught! The tight end, Cameron. Touchdown. And the Dolphins are right back in it.
All set up by that taunting penalty.
Yeah.
Short kickoff and set this up. Tannehill doing a nice job of extending the play. Nothing there right away. Gets outside of the pocket, eyes downfield. This is where tight ends, those big bodies, they're easy to see for quarterbacks. When things break down, now you got to uncover. That's exactly what Cameron does. It's a good adjustment to a ball thrown behind him. Nice drive by the Dolphins to put points on at the end of the half.
Credit, John. Tannehill had 12 yards to that point. He had a couple great throws on that drive, and the Dolphins back in it. 14-7 Cowboys now with 16 seconds to go in the half. We got a game in Miami. The sun's out. It's a party. Why not? Cameron, the tight end, his second of the year. You know, those critical plays for the Cowboys, yeah, they've been without Tony Romo, but they haven't made it. And here, John, it's a mistake. They go up 14-0. They're dominating the game. A taunting penalty on Dez Bryant after the touchdown. A bad squib kick by Dan Bailey, and a nice play by the Dolphins to recover there. And then, boom, Tannehill, a couple good throws, and you got a game.
We talked about it. It's about fishing, and that's what the Cowboys team has failed to do. We'll see if it can here today.
This kick out of the back of the end zone. Why don't we check in with Kurt Menefee?
Up on the Visa halftime, it's back day. Rocco gets the go as a Bronco. Case Keenum is in for the Rams. Matt Hasselbeck is back for the Colts. Sanchez looks to make his mark in Philly, and Yates tries to bust out of the gates early. And let's not forget the guys who backed me up. Oh, we say that with love.
Terry looks frustrated.
He don't call Terry Bradshaw back. That's why he's frustrated.
That's a fair point. Well, we will see those guys from L.A. in moments now, as that'll take us to the end of the first half, and it should make for an interesting second half. Late touchdown by the Dolphins, but it's the Cowboys behind Tony Romo with a 14-7 lead at the break here from Miami. On Romo's return, he started off a little rusty, then led a long touchdown drive with a 31-yard score to Terrence Williams. And this Dallas defense was just dominant. Ryan Tannehill made a heck of a throw, and then Jarvis Landry with a big-time catch, and just like that, quick strike, Miami's back in.
Yeah, Romo a little rusty. It wasn't perfect, but that's to be expected. At the end, we saw what he brings to this team.
All right, let's go to Kurt and Terry and Howie, Michael and Jimmy. Halftime show, Visa, comes your way right now. Excitement brought to you by Nissan. Well, it's had a little of everything right here in South Florida, where the sun's been out, the rain has been out. Oh yeah, monsoon in the pregame, and early in this one we had some turnovers. We had a left-handed pass by Tony Romo, a defensive touchdown, and then the Dolphins getting back in it before the half. That was today's excitement brought to you by Nissan. Woo! Catch your breath as we get set for a second half in Miami. Dez Bryant riding the bike to stay warm. 14-7 Cowboys, who will get the ball to start this third quarter. Yeah, John, there's a lot been happening here, but the big storyline is the return of Tony Romo. His team up in front by 7. What do you think so far?
Well, it wasn't perfect. Again, we saw again what he brings to this team, and that's big playability. Ryan Tannehill perhaps got woken up on that last drive.
So Cowboys will start with the football, kicked out of the end zone. And they'll start it on their own 20 with Romo coming out. 9 of 16, 132 yards with interception and the touchdown so far. Some of the first half numbers for you. The Dolphins had no numbers until the very end. That last drive, Tannehill hit a deep ball to Landry and then a 12-yard touchdown to Jordan Cameron. But there's been pressure on Tony Romo today. He's gotten sacked once. Another sack negated by a penalty. He's been hit and hurried 7 times. So the Dolphins getting some pressures. A lot of times with a 4-man line. On first down, they're going to run it. Trying to get Darren McFadden going. So let's watch Tony Romo. First series was in a downpour up near his own end zone. His first completion was a left-handed pass. But, yeah, he took a couple hits early and looked like he was starting to get in a groove as this game moved on.
Well, it's Tony talked to us about the other night is that he takes a lot of pride and he thinks it's something he really improved at. When you get hit early in the game, a lot of quarterbacks go away. He said, I take pride in not being that guy. If I get hit early, I still have poise and I play right through it.
Second down and 7. McFadden right. Good. Oh, Darren McFadden runs right through it, and he's out across the 40. He had a gaping hole to run through that time, and he picked up 20 yards.
Well, first of all, when you're running this gap-type scheme, La'el Collins, the rookie, Zach Martin, Witt do a great job, and then look at La'el Collins, the athleticism to get out there one-on-one, make that block. Darren McFadden with that kind of speed, if you hit him that opening, he'll put big yards on the board.
Fake the run. Romo looking to throw, and he's got wide open the completion. It's Terrence Williams, and more active today than he has in the last 8 weeks. Touchdown already in his 3rd catch.
And watch this route. At the top of the route, he sells it that he's going deep. Jamar Taylor goes right down on the ground. That's a tremendous route. A lot to it. And Tony Romo, Kevin, you talked about it. Terrence Williams probably as happy as anyone because he seems to come alive. Tony Romo trusts him, and he likes that.
Cowboys on the move this opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Running again, and he runs right into a brick wall named Ndamukong Suh. Goodness.
There's no subtlety to anything Ndamukong Suh does. You watch him, and this is how you play defensive line. A little stuff before the play ever happens. He beats the best football in guard and best guard in football in my mind. And Ndamukong Suh playing at a high level the last couple of weeks.
I wouldn't want to make him angry. Very strong human being. Loss of 4. Robert Turbin in the game now at running back. Play clock at 3. Blitz. Picked up initially. Romo gets it, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Neville Hewitt, and we get a penalty too. So an interception by Miami, their 2nd, but let's see what the penalty is. The rookie free agent out of Marshall getting the start today with Jelani Jenkins hurt. Miami clapping.
Holding. Offense, number 77. That privilege decline. Result of the plays. First down.
So, a big impact from the rookie. Romo pressured again, throws it away, and the Dolphins down by 7, have the football here in the 3rd.
Dave's Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. By Burger King. Now get 10 chicken nuggets for $1.49 only at BK. And by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home.
Tony Romo told us himself the thing he was concerned about after 8 weeks away from the game, situational thinking. The quick decisions right there is a bad decision. Terry Bradshaw talked about it. He played the position. He was going to be nervous in the pocket. That's nervous in that pocket. Not a good decision. 8 weeks away from the game takes a toll on even elite quarterback like Tony Romo.
And Tannehill to throw on first down. He's got a complete, and it's Matthew who makes the catch, and he's got a first down, a gain of 15. You know, Tannehill, Johnny, had 12 yards until the last minute of the half, but he started starting to heat up now.
He's heating up, as is the tempo for the Miami Dolphins. They feel rhythm starting to happen on the field, and they want to continue it.
Boss Miller left breaks through. Flag coming in very late. So let's get this call. This one may be coming on back. Brandon Albert threw his hands up in the air. The left tackle.
Personal foul. Chop block. Number 51 of the offense. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Mike Pouncey, their Pro Bowl center.
Well, Pouncey is brilliant at pulling, and there's the problem when someone's high and then you go low, as Pouncey did, and it's not something intentional to Pouncey. It happened very fast, but that was a good call because you can't be engaged high while someone else goes low. Part of the safety protocol in the NFL.
Well, 15 yards, and that hurts. First and 25 now. Backed up our own 43. And another whistle. Been 12 penalties in this game already. Might as well make it another.
False start. Number 84 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Jordan Cameron, the tight end. Dan Campbell's thinking, man. Dolphins have been bitten by penalties this year. They came in 26th in the league at 8.2 a game. So this is not something new today. It's their 7th penalty already today. Consider one of them a holding penalty. Really allowed Dallas to score a touchdown. Remember, they were going to 3 and out back by their own goal line. Ended up going 93 yards for a score. Now they're going to come near side to Miller, the running back. And a stiff arm, and he's going to pick up 2.
Tell you, Byron Jones, I can't be more impressed. It's hard to play defensive back as a rookie in this league. And Rod Marinelli says, I wouldn't ask it of a veteran, but he comes in as a rookie out of necessity, injuries, and just his versatility. Again, he's played free safety, strong safety, corner, nickel. He's done it all, and he's done it all at a high level. Yes, he got beat at the end of that first half, but Byron Jones has been extraordinary for the Dallas Cowboys this season.
Especially big without Morris Claiborne, their starting corner, out with a hamstring today. 2nd and 30. Tannehill stands in another flag. He's got a completion over the middle. It's Deion Sims, the backup tight end. And so we'll sort out yet another penalty.
Offside defense, number 76, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, that'll help. Talking about Byron Jones, John, and what he's brought to the table, this rookie first-round pick. At the Combine, he set a world record. Look at that jump. It's a world record, 12 feet, 3 inches. I mean, what is that?
It's incredible. It's not normal. And he's an athlete. But then they all talk about his smarts, his aptitude, not only on the football field, off the football field. They've got themselves a big-time player.
Pressure coming. Here's Ajayi, the rookie, who makes the catch and turns around and gets upfield. And they'll mark him out of bounds. And now you're going to look at a 3rd down and long. They could put him at the 46.
You know, that's what penalties do to you because they had established a rhythm. And like I said, I thought that Tannehill had woken up, and he came out firing. That's a nice rhythm. They're going with the tempo. Then the penalties drove them backwards and kind of took away that rhythm and that momentum that they have.
Yeah, they got to get to the 32. They got a long way to go here. Tannehill just gets it out to Landry, and he's got 4 Cowboy defenders there. Nowhere near a first down, out to the 45. And that'll be punting territory. Just too many penalties on the drive.
Now, Kevin, this is what they call the picket fence defense. They just line up as if they're fence posts. They're going to have eyes on the quarterback and say, you can get a little, you're not getting a lot. And they rally to the football. That's well played and executed defense.
So as John noted, promising start, but then the penalties derail that drive, and they will punt it away. There's Beasley. Fair catch just inside the 10, and that's where Dallas will take over. Little help from the penalties, but the defense doing their job. Cowboys up by 7 here in the third. 14-7 Cowboys over the Dolphins. 8:40 to go in this third quarter. Looks like rain has gone away for the day. And so Dallas has the football. Just inside own 10-yard line. Pitch out here, McFadden. Not much. Well, if the Devil decided to quit, where do you think he would go? That's a rhetorical question. Well, Los Angeles, of course. That's what happens in the new Fox show, Lucifer. He gives Ben a good name. Lucifer is coming in January to Fox. He's in Los Angeles because that's where the Fox studios are, John, so in case you're wondering. Just filling that in for you.
It's very uplifting.
Second down. Romo in the gun. Back to throw over the middle. Incomplete for Jason Witten and just couldn't find there. So Witten with one catch today. 7 away from 1,000 for his career, which will be his start. But this is history. This is his 197th consecutive game played. The most in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. Think about that. All greats they've had in this organization. The record by Bob Lilly.
Production, consistency, durability. Jason, the epitome of all of those, and Tony Romo called him the best player I've ever played with.
Play clock at 2. Third down. Pressure. Romo gets rid of it. In time, McFadden has, but he's going to be short of a first down. The pressure again. The Dolphins have had that the last quarter and a half, and Dallas will have to punt.
I got to tell you, the offensive line, I think the world of them, but they're getting beat right now by this Miami Dolphins front, and they're starting to wear on them. Dominic Sue, Olivier Vernon, Shelby in the middle. They're around Romo. He feels their presence. They're hitting him at the end plays. They're starting to take over this game.
So Jones will punt it away. End over end, high and short. Landry's going to let it bounce. Takes a good Cowboys roll. We got a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. What else is new? So before we can move on, let's see what the late penalty is.
Holding, number 58, the kicking team. That 10-yard penalty will be added at the end of the play. First down.
So the Dolphins will have good field position. Look at the middle of your screen. There's the hold right there. Dolphins football down 7.
Today's game is sponsored by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Well, the Dolphins have football down 14-7 here midway through the third quarter. Miami's defense has been picking up some steam. Now can the offense join them? Ajayi, the rookie, with a hard run up the middle. 5 yards on that first down. I have to point out on the scoreboard, Carolina was once a 14-all game. Is waxing Washington 38-14. They're going to be 10-0, John.
The job Ron Rivera has done up there in Carolina, and Cam Newton, you can't say enough about the way he's playing and leading that team.
Tannehill is coming to Ajayi. He makes a catch. Good block. First down for Miami, and then some inside the 35. Great block from Jarvis Landry.
I'm telling you, you go back to the end of that half, the Cowboys score. It looks like all the momentum. The game has changed since that taunting penalty. Since that taunting penalty, we've had a different game. Great block by Landry. Ajayi showing that burst that he shows. But this game has changed since that penalty. The ensuing short kickoff put points on the board for the Dolphins. And that, again, the inability to finish for these Dallas Cowboys has been the issue. Tony Romo can't fix that alone.
Give it to Ajayi again. Good move. Ajayi inside the 30. Let's check on the sidelines with Peter Schrager.
Hey, what John's talking about is exactly right. Jason Garrett said going into halftime, we have to finish now. We've been in this position. Let's finish the game and actually win one and wrap it up. Meanwhile, Dan Campbell said, it's okay to hit Tony Romo. You got to come in there. If you don't sack him, it's all right. Still hit him. He's injured. Let's get to him and keep the pressure on.
Well, they are, John, and they're doing it with a four-man rush.
His guys got the memo. They're all over Tony Romo right about now. And the offense now continue the rhythm that they started to develop at the end of the half.
2nd and 7. Tannehill lets it loose, picks it up, and just throws it away. So heads up for Tannehill to escape a disaster. Let's get a game break now. Check in with Mike Hill.
You guys talked about Carolina making it a perfect 10. That's because Cam Newton is just dabbing on them folks. His 5th touchdown pass of the game that ties a team record. All Panthers is from 38-14 over the Skins. Kevin, John, back to you.
They're a machine right now. And they're going to get right now. They're steaming towards home field in the NFC. Wow. It's a bad snap penalty. Tannehill did a really nice job. Throw away, but now a 3rd down and 7. Another 3rd and long. Active throw coming near side. He's got Stills. He's got it! Touchdown!
Tannehill, just the other day when we met with him, said Kenny Stills is developing. He is our deep threat, and Kenny Stills shows you exactly why Ryan Tannehill feels that way. Perfectly thrown football, decent coverage, but Stills gets the separation. Tannehill delivers.
2nd touchdown of the year for Stills, 29 yards. And Tannehill has hit some big plays now. The 47-yarder to Landry, that time a 29-yarder, and now an extra point try by Andrew Franks, which would tie it up. And we are tied. You said it, John. That penalty near the end of the first half against Dallas changed everything. Tannehill fired up. We're all tied up in Miami. The Dolphins go deep. To Kenny Stills, a perfect throw from Ryan Tannehill. I mean, you couldn't place it any better because Byron Jones had pretty good coverage. And we're tied. And the Cowboys had a 14-0 lead just over a minute to go in the first half. And things have changed now. After the penalty on Dez Bryant, the taunting penalty, walking off the field after that touchdown. And now you got a brand new ball game. Sun is out in South Florida. Rain has gone away. And it's 14-all for this Cowboys team. They've lost 7 straight, getting their quarterback back today, but that hasn't solved all their woes. Way into the end zone on the kick from Franks. Thanksgiving weekend, we have got some of the best rivalries in college football, including the game of the week on Saturday. Notre Dame takes on Stanford, a must-win game for both teams' playoff chances. It all starts Thursday on FS1. Boy, that game by McCaffrey last night was crazy for the Cardinals.
Unbelievable player. Played with his dad at Stanford. I was a quarterback, he was a receiver, but boy, this Christian McCaffrey, he's phenomenal. I think should be getting more consideration than he is for the Heisman. Fun player to watch.
There is Sue. 1st down. Romo has time this time, going far side. Diving catch. And a good grab by Dez Bryant. 3rd catch of the day for Dez.
Well, Brent Grimes has done a very nice job keeping Dez Bryant bottled up, and those type of throws won't beat you. They got to do those consistently down the field. Keeping him bottled up is what Lou Anarumo talked about, and that means keeping him in front of you.
You talked about Grimes. He's been with Bryant all over the field today and has done a nice job. He's also picked off Tony Romo. 2nd, now they're going to run it. McFadden, and his forward progress should be enough for a 1st down.
And this is where it's so nice having Tony Romo, because now momentum is shifted. You face some adversity. Now you rely on your Pro Bowl quarterback. Keep things poised. He's been here before, and he knows how to respond. We'll see if he can get it done.
Romo said something interesting yesterday. He said, I think we have to find out a little bit who we are. talking about the run game, the offense, the team as a whole. One thing's for sure, they're playing hard. That's not the issue. Play clock down to 1. Romo to throw it. And McFadden's on his knee after a block, but gets up, stiff arm, and a decent gain when there was nothing there. I'd like to welcome those of you who are watching Carolina blow out Washington. Here's a recap of what's gone on here in Miami. Well, first of all, a defensive touchdown. Rolando McClain picked it off and ran it home to start. And then Romo finding Terrence Williams. That got the Cowboys out to a 14-0 lead. But the Dolphins, just before the half, put together a late drive. Jordan Cameron with a touchdown, and then this moments ago, going deep to Kenny Stills. And that touchdown ties it up at 14. That's where we stand. Peter Schrager on the sidelines along with John Lynch. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And away we go. Robert Turbin now. He's giving this team a spark here today. And a good run on first down. So we welcome those of you who just joined us. He's John, I'm Kevin. Yeah, Tony Romo is back and things are better, but Cowboys still, the critical plays is what's dogged him during this 7-game losing streak.
Yeah, it is, you know, and I think something very pathetic that's playing out in this game. Remember Tony Romo, when we met with him, said, if we block him up front, I like our chances. If not, it's going to be a real close game. Yeah. Here we are, 14-14, and Ndamukong Suh and company starting to impose their will all over Tony Romo of late.
So 1st and 10 after that run by Turbin. Fake. Lot of time. Now Romo gets drilled as he throws. Williams jumping. Did he haul it in? He did. He is so good at that sideline catch, and he just made another terrific play. It's a gain of 15.
Boy, there is something about Tony Romo that brings out the best. Watch this route. Little stutter. Then he's going to hit it. Then he sees Tony Romo with nothing. He breaks out of his comeback, and watch the toe tap. I mean, unbelievable. Dan Campbell said he wanted Tony Romo hit. Olivia Vernon says, yes, sir.
Terrence Williams, John, had 16 catches the last 7 games combined without Romo today. 4 of 79 and a touchdown. Big call. McFadden off to the races. McFadden taken down right around the 10. He had a hole and he sprinted through it for 35 yards.
Well, the offensive line, watch La'el Collins. He's going to make the key block. Watch him come around, put the seal right there. And then Darren McFadden turns on the Jets for the big game.
McFadden up to 89 yards after that 35-yard rush. And now a 1st and goal for Dallas. Run Turbin up the middle. Good run and a late penalty again. This one in the backfield. Turbin has been quite the spark.
Holding. Number 70 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
That's that matchup we talked about early in this game. Zach Martin working against Ndamukong Suh. Here they are right there. And watch Suh. And I frankly don't see it right there. I think that's a bad call. Hands are inside. He's got jersey, but when hands are inside, that's typically within the framework of the rules. I don't like that call.
Meanwhile, Turbin remains in the game, and it's still a 1st and goal. They're backed up at the 19. Romo. Pressure coming from Vernon again. Gets away. Now Vernon gives chase, and they finally bring him down. Well, that could have been a sack, and Romo turned it into a 4-yard gain.
Just watch the effort of this front. This is the way they've been playing late. Look at Ndamukong Suh continue to play. Vernon chasing, Ndamukong Suh back involved. It's hard for big men to do. It's not natural, but they've been playing with tremendous effort here the last couple of weeks, and it's showing.
McFadden back in the game at tailback. 8th play of the drive. And that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Good one in Miami. Cowboys knocking on the doorstep, tied at 14 with the Dolphins. 14 all. We start the 4th quarter from Miami. And the Cowboys have a 2nd and goal, but they're backed up at the 16 thanks to a holding penalty on a day that we're honoring our military here in Miami. And it's been sloppy at times, but it's been a good football game. And so here we go. Des Bryant in the slot. You got Devin Street outside in this formation. There's Bryant. 2nd and goal. Romo lofting against Bryant. Touchdown.
Talked about Tony Romo. He's been here before. He's not going to panic because momentum has shifted. The great ones, what they do, they answer. And that's exactly what Tony Romo. Des Bryant going to work behind the linebacker in front of the safety, and Romo throws it perfectly. That's what the Dallas Cowboys were hoping for, from their leader, Tony Romo, and he delivers.
That's a pretty good answer, John. 8 plays, 80 yards after the Dolphins just tie it up. Yeah, and they got caught, as you said, with Hewitt, the linebacker, on that matchup. Extra point. Up and good. And the Cowboys back in front. Romo to Bryant. That's a familiar connection. And it puts the Cowboys in the lead. Take a look at South Beach and take a look at Tony Romo. How about this? They just passed Aikman and Irvin for the touchdown combination, quarterback to wide receiver in Cowboys history. 50th time they've hooked up. Some legendary Cowboy records going down today, huh? Gonna pick up the ball. What in the world is going on there?
What was that? They have, my goodness, they have Jarvis Landry down there, and the ball takes a backward bounce. It has that spin, and Jarvis Landry, you got to pick up the ball and go. You should field it in the air and just say, okay, we're going to call it a touchback. He's back there because Damian Williams had trouble bringing one in last week versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
What a humongous mistake. Instead of being at the 20, here's Miami at their own 4. And that's Darren Pizzi, who is the assistant head coach and the special teams coach, and he's a good one, and I'm sure flabbergasted 2 weeks in a row. They have let a giant mistake happen. Darren Rizzi, excuse me. So the Dolphins down 7 and now on their own 4, and they're trying to get a little offense going. And Miller met by Sean Lee. Last week they had a play where Damian Williams couldn't decide whether to come out of the end zone or not, and then did, and slipped and fell down at the 1, and then they have that. So just decision making. There's Williams.
Really interesting that on that last drive, Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator and play caller for the Dallas Cowboys, he went back to the run. He got them going with the run game, and then Romo beat him with the pass. We'll see what Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator for the Dolphins, does.
Give to Miller, and not much. It may be 2 on that, and now a 3rd down is coming up for Miami, and they have, well, they've struggled all year on this down, and today they're just 1 of 7.
Really interesting. They run it twice, and I asked Dan Campbell flat out the other day, look, I know you've given him the contract. Do you think Ryan Tannehill's the guy? Can he lead you? He said Ryan Tannehill can win a championship provided you do things efficiently in the run game to help him. He's not a guy who's going to go throw it 40, 50 times and lead his team, put it on the back. He's not Dan Marino, basically.
He got a 6-year, $95 million deal. 3rd and 4. Tannehill design run, and he makes a move, and he's got it. And now 3 flags come flying on the play.
They got Jason Fox on a hold, and that's a good call because he hooked him.
Holding, number 74, offense. Half the distance to goal, still 3rd down.
There it is. And he gets, he got his money's worth. If you're going to hold, really hold him. And 3 flags came his way as a result. And they had the 1st down there as well.
I didn't think he had to do that. I thought Tannehill could have beat him to the punch, honestly. I mean, I get it, you're in the moment, but So that penalty negates a first down run. And now we'll try third down again. And they've had third and longs all day. Again, 1 of 7 on third. Third down and 9. 4-man rush. Tannehill gets hit as he delivers. Incomplete. Greg Hardy came in with the pressure, and now Miami punts from their own end zone.
Well, Greg Hardy shot out of a cannon at the end of that rush. Credit him. Putting the pressure in Tannehill's face. And that causes the errant throw.
So now the Cowboys will send Lucky Whitehead back to return. Matt Darr's got to be careful back of the end zone here. Here's what it looks like to be a punter. He had some time. They set up the return. It's a short kick. And Whitehead's going to pick it up and come around the edge. And he makes a great decision, does Lucky Whitehead. Inside the 40. They will mark him out of bounds at the 37, and now late flag, some extracurricular activity. I think it was the punter that got involved here.
And they called him for a personal foul, I think, for the late hit at the end of this play. He's clearly out of bounds. I don't know what to say.
I mean, that looked like the British Bulldog back in the old WWF.
Oh.
I mean, talk about decision-making, though. I mean, first Landry just lets the kickoff sit there at the 1, and then there's no reason to do that. Well, momentum has shifted in this game so many times back and forth.
After the runner is out of bounds, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 4 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Should get Jeff Nelson, our stat man, on this. How many personal fouls on punters happen in the NFL?
I don't remember one.
You ever seen one?
I think I did. Fuad Rivez, the old Minnesota Vikings punter. I believe Fuad got one against the game, but my goodness.
We'll take a commercial. So they got some pressure from Greg Hardy, and now it's Tony Romo getting the ball back, already up by 7. Meanwhile, the Dolphins try not to let it slip away.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Xbox One, the official game console of the NFL. By Target, expect more, pay less. And by Miller Lite, back in its original bottle, but not for long. It's Miller time.
Miami beats, so that always looks good. It's been an interesting day here of football. 21-14 Cowboys, and now after a defensive stand and a penalty on the punter, yeah, you heard me, great field position. Here's Robert Turbin running left, and he's strung out by Olivier Vernon. He's played a whale of a game today.
This defensive front for the Miami Dolphins continues to play well. Playing with tremendous effort, Olivier Vernon and Ndamukong Suh, Earl Mitchell. Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, continues to stay with the run. And Tony Romo capped the last drive with the touchdown to Des Bryant, but it was set up by a lot of successful running by the Cowboys.
Sure was. Loss of 4 on that last run, though. And Turbin remains in there in the backfield. Romo over the middle, and a quick hitter and a quick tackle. Turbin made the catch, Shepard on the tackle. And it's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and long. Look at Suh under 12 minutes to go. And so a big play here on this 3rd down. Need to get to the 11. Romo, big time coming to old reliable Jason Witten with the conversion and a first down.
Tony Romo talked about it this week. His favorite route with Jason Witten, they call it Y option, and that basically means Witten's going to come up here and then do whatever the heck he wants. Find the open spot. He pivots away from the leverage of the defender. And Tony Romo, that's what you talk about chemistry. They know the subtleties. They know the body language of each other so well. That's a true option, and it's something they do better than anybody in this league.
And so a 1st and goal. They give it to Turbin. Quick cut up the middle, and Turbin rumbles forward to pick up a couple. So Witten now 6 catches away from 1,000. There's Scott Linehan, offensive coordinator for this Cowboys team. And just to put the Witten thing, you say, okay, 1,000 catches. What does that mean? There's 10 people in the history of the league that are in that club.
Enough said.
That's all. Timeout. First timeout for either team in this second half. So Witten, we mentioned, trying to get into that 1,000 reception club. And only 10 people in the history of the league are in it. And he's looking to join it. Hines Ward has an even 1,000, the former Steeler. And, well, John, this is a group of some Hall of Famers involved.
I mean, look at that. Jerry Rice, Tony Gonzalez, Marvin Harrison. I mean, incredible stuff. And for Jason Witten to put himself in that category, tremendous.
And then today, the 197th consecutive game, a new Cowboys record, surpassing Mr. Cowboy, Bob Lilly. We showed you highlights of Super Bowl VI earlier. He had that 29-yard sack in that game of Bob Greasy, one of his signature plays. So yeah, Witten an all-timer, a Hall of Famer. At least you would think. 2nd and goal. See if Romo looks for Witten here. This time he's got time. Good time. Coming back to Beasley. In and out of the hands. Just couldn't hold on. Bryce McCain was on the coverage, but he should have had it.
One thing Tony Romo does, and the Dolphins were very cognizant, the ability to buy time, extending the plays and then delivering. Tony Romo, brilliant in that pocket. Watch him. Just extending the play, backing up a couple steps, eyes downfield, and he delivers it. Cole Beasley got to catch that ball. Great play by Romo.
Beasley's got pretty good hands. Just couldn't hang on. 3rd and goal. Looking left, now pressure, trying to escape, dragged down from behind. Derek Shelby got his hands on Romo, and now they'll try a field goal.
You know what, though? That's the smart play by Romo right there. Don't force anything. You're already up by 7. Now you put the field goal, you make it a 2-score game. A prudent decision by Romo. Nothing clearly there. Hold on to the football and take care of yourself.
It's a pretty good grip to drag him down by the jersey. By Shelby. That's his 2nd sack of the year. Had a sack last week against Philly. And so now Dan Bailey trying to make it a 2-possession game. This would be a 30-yard field goal. Jones on the hold, and that is true. And so the Cowboys up by 10 from Miami. Bailey with some insurance. 9:09 to go. Standings in the NFC East right now. Giants are on a bye. The Redskins are getting crushed in Carolina, and the Eagles are getting smoked at home by Tampa Bay. Thank you, John.
4 and 6.
6 needs to be a little smaller, but well done. Here's the thing. It's crazy because you look at Dallas, they're 2 and 7. Only the Browns have a worse record in the National Football League, but yet we've been with them the last 2 weeks. All they've been is positive, upbeat, feeling that they can do this. And yet, here they are. They win today. Well, a couple games out of first place, and they've been here before. Their fourth quarters have been the undoing of this team. They've had the lead. They've been tied 6 of the last 7 games, all losses. Outscored 73-30 in those fourth quarters and overtimes combined. The defense hasn't come to play. No sacks, just 1 takeaway. And then the quarterbacks haven't performed. Obviously, Romo's back today, who just happens to be the second best fourth quarter rating-wise of all time. 3 for 4, 31 yards in the fourth quarter today is Romo. And by the way, Cowboys up now by 10. So here's Tannehill looking to get it back, and that's a good start as he comes over the middle and finds Stills, who's got the catch. That's good for a Miami first down.
Kevin, I'm often asked, people say a guy like Tony Romo, come on, he really makes the defense better. Why? Well, when you're up by 10 points in the fourth quarter, in large part because of Tony Romo, all of a sudden it becomes a little easier to get a takeaway because the other team has to push the ball down the field. So it does affect the entire team when you have a special quarterback. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. And Tony Romo's showing that today.
Tannehill looking to run up the middle. Game break time. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Jameis Winston is having himself a day. 5 touchdown passes, including this one to Cameron Brate. Ties the record for a rookie in a game, and he's still got almost a quarter to go. Bucks rolling in Philly, 38-14. Kevin, John, and Peter.
Tampa Bay's right in the playoff race. How about that?
They sure are.
They're going to be 5-5 if they win this today. 2nd and 6 for Miami. Also trying to get to 5-5, but they've got work to do against these 2-7 Cowboys. A lot on the line next 8 minutes or so. Here's Tannehill. Pressure! Down he goes! Jack Crawford came flying in and brought down Tannehill.
And you talk about wanting to push it down the field. That's a coverage sack. Great coverage down the field. Ryan Tannehill, you got to get rid of the ball. That's decent protection by your front. But when you're holding it that long, in large part because of the coverage, see Barry Church all over Jordan Cameron. Jarvis Landry covered up. Good coverage by that secondary. It led to the late sack by Crawford.
Crawford, they just moved him to defensive tackle last year. He was hurt his first year. They may have something. He's got 4 sacks now. 3rd down and long. Over the middle is Tannehill, and that's Miller, and that's going to be short of a first. And with 7 minutes left and all 3 timeouts down 10, what's the call here from Dan Campbell? The call is punt.
Well, I get that throw if you're thinking 4-down territory because you get a large chunk to set up the 4th down. But if that's not the thought process, you got to push it now. It's tough, easier said than done. The Cowboys again employing that picket fist defense.
So, Dolphins will punt away. Big sack by Jack Crawford there. Good kick. Fair catch Beasley. He makes it out at the 13. 6:29 to go. Cowboys football. Cowboys lead up by 10. And Tony Romo trying to end this 7-game Cowboys losing streak.
Today's game is sponsored by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Un-carrier.
Well, this is only the beginning of the action. America's Game of the Week. It's a big one. The Packers and the first place Minnesota Vikings. Now that'll be a huge game. Here, it's the Cowboys 24, the Dolphins 14. Dolphins would love to have that guy, Cameron Wake, out for the year with an Achilles. 7 sacks in 3 weeks from him, but he's not available. And so the Cowboys going to try and run it with McFadden, and that is not going to work. Olivier Vernon there again. He's been there all day. And John, let's be fair. McFadden's had a good game, but this is where DeMarco Murray would run it down people's throats.
Now look, there's 6 minutes left, but in football, this is what you call a 4-minute offense. When you want to get in that mode, we're going to get first downs via the run game. Get behind our great offensive line, and you're exactly right. No one was better than DeMarco Murray last year. We'll see if McFadden can get it done.
He's had a nice game, 19 carries, 85 yards. Time obviously a factor. Dolphins have all 3 timeouts left. But they can't afford much. McFadden running left, flag flies. And Dominican Sue there again, and the flag stops the clock too. Now, you said at the beginning it's going to be fun to watch Sue against this offensive line. It's been a good matchup.
Holding, number 70 offense. That penalty's declined. Third down.
So that's on Zach Martin.
Here's Zach Martin right here in Ndamukong Suh. And where he's getting him, he's stunning right prior to the play, and it's making it awful tough for Zach Martin. Zach Martin may have to close those splits down or get more help from his center.
Dolphins have to have this if they want to come back and win this game. Third down and 14. They're going to hand it off on a draw to McFadden, who's got some room, and Darren McFadden may have it. He is going to have the first down. A draw works to perfection.
Jason Garrett smiling, and I think it's ironic. Since it's been 14-14, Scott Linehan has really relied on this run game. The Miami front was starting to get really hard to block. They've relied on this run game. 3rd and 14, converting. You see the block by Travis Frick, the offensive lineman, and McFadden doing a nice job of getting that first down. Clutch pickup for the Dallas Cowboys.
And he's at 100 yards on the day. Man, was that big. Clock is rolling. First down. Give it to him again. And that time he's going to lose yardage. And if you're Miami, you got to start thinking about timeouts here. And they do. And they take their first, and we'll take one as well. Cowboys trying to salt this one away. Fox Sports proudly supports Folds of Honor and its mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who've been killed or disabled while serving our country. For more information, please visit foxsportssupports.com. Got to tell you, I had a chance to go out to Oklahoma on Memorial Day and visit the home base of the Folds of Honor, where they built a golf course, a paint golf course, just to support that charity. And you meet the families and people that are involved. Wow.
Tremendous organization. We're proud to support it at Fox.
2nd and 11 for Dallas, trying to run this game out up by 10. 4:23 to go. Dolphins took their first time out. They've got 2 left. Run it again. McFadden patiently up the middle, and it puts the head down and works his way all the way to the 30. Picks up 7.
You watch this matchup again. Watch those guys, Sue and Martin. Just 2 brutally strong guys. And Ndamukong Suh had about enough of Zach Martin. You're going to dump him at the end of this play.
All right, so the Dolphins call their 2nd timeout. John, here's the thing about Dallas. They said only Cleveland Browns had a worse record in the NFL coming into today. Quarterback's back. Defense has played better. If they win today, they're only 2 games out of first place because the NFC East has been so up and down.
Well, and it all comes down to finishing. We talked about it. Jason Garrett said, we've been in every game. Hopefully our Pro Bowl quarterback is that difference. I think he has been. He makes everybody around him better, and he knows how to make the big play. And that's been the difference here today. The offensive line playing better, but they run it better because there's not so many people in the box because of the threat of throwing with Tony Romo.
Well, this is a huge down. Dolphins 1 timeout left. 3rd and 4. Romo. Beasley's got it, looking for a block. First down, Cole Beasley. 2 beautifully executed plays on 3rd down, and the clock continues to run. His first catch of the day.
Well, and I think the adjustment by Scott Linehan, it's a lot of run, and then when we do throw it, let's have it be a quick throw. We're having trouble blocking these guys, and so what do? You pop it to Cole Beasley. Great block by Des Bryant. Tyron Smith getting out there in front. It's just smart football, and Scott Linehan really called a smart game in this 2nd half. Tony Romo tells him right there, points to Linehan. Great coach.
And another first down. Dolphins have the 2-minute warning and 1 more timeout. That's all they can do. And there is McFadden. That's another first down. He picks up 11.
That style of football just wears on people. And the 4-yard runs, the 2-yard runs, they start becoming 10-yard runs when you've worn them out. And that's what this Cowboys line. Look at the surge. See Lyle calls with the block. And McFadden, when he has a little space, can do a lot of damage.
I know they're running the ball now, but does Romo just everything about this? The machinations of the offense. You see they're wearing them out play-wise, but just his presence in there, does that help this situation at all?
No doubt about it. I mean,
here's McFadden again. Keep going back to it. They're wearing him down. Another 10-yard run.
And now you've got everyone in the box because they have to stop him on the run, and this offensive line has worn out the Dolphins front. Remember, this is a Dolphin defense that played 88 plays in Philadelphia last week. Dan Campbell tried to take them out of pads, everything he could do to keep them fresh, but I think you're starting to see the wear and tear of a defense who's played 88 plays last week, now 65 plays this week. That's a lot of plays in football.
Yeah, it sure is. Meanwhile, Darren McFadden, 25 carries, 127 yards. And I think Dallas may call a timeout here. They will. So they'll stop clock. Dolphins will have the 2-minute warning and one more timeout. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken. And you can see him on the Herd every weekday at noon Eastern and only on FS1. Well, we're talking about the Cowboys, John. But what about these Dolphins? 4-5. We know they've been better under Dan Campbell. 3-2 since he took over. And we said at the beginning, two things they've done. They've gotten to the quarterback, which they have continued to do today, and they've run the football, which they have not done today.
No, they haven't. They got away from it. And I think the play discrepancy, they haven't been able to maintain possessions. When they've started to get rhythm, they seem to have shot themselves in the foot by going backwards with penalties and such. Just a little disjointed game and sloppy with the penalties that were for both teams today.
First down, 10. Last play for the 2-minute warning. They'll run it again with McFadden earning his paycheck today. Pushing the pile forward for 2 yards. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Cowboys trying to stop this 7-game streak. Up 10 on the Dolphins in Miami, trying to run this thing out. Congratulations, Dallas. You're going to end the losing streak at 7. You've got the 10-0 Panthers on Thanksgiving. Wow. So let me ask you, John Lynch, can they do it? We just said, hey, they're still close in this division. Can they make this run with a relatively tough schedule now that Romo's back?
Well, you see their 4-minute offense, and I'll answer after this.
All right,
the best I can.
They're trying to run this game out. One timeout for the Dolphins. That's all they can do to stop it. Run it again, McFadden, and Sue eats him up. Third down coming. What do you think?
I think they can. I really do. I think they have a monument task beating the Carolina Panthers, but they have him at home. They have Tony Romo back, and I think we've seen a great illustration on what he brings to this team. He makes everyone better, and there's a confidence that comes with having that guy at the position. It hasn't been perfect. You see the interception early. There was some rust shake off for Tony Romo, but you saw the big plays down the field, the explosive nature. You saw mistakes throughout the course of the game, but that was to be expected. But then you keep saying that, and that's what he brings to this team, and I think he can be the difference. Now, like I said, it's a monumental task, and the only way you can do it, keep knocking people off, because there is no margin for error.
No doubt. And again, Washington getting beat up by Carolina. They're going to go 10-0. The Eagles getting throttled at home by Tampa Bay. Giants are off, so it's a good day for the Cowboys if they could just finish this one out. And McFadden having a big game. Not his best this year. He had 152 yards earlier this year, but he's been very, very good, especially on this last drive when they needed him the most. Third down, nowhere to go. Those of you just tuning in, welcome to Miami. Cowboys trying to put all to their 7-game losing streak, up by 10, minute 37 to go. Along with Peter Schrager and John Lynch, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Today's game being produced by Pete Cheska, directed by Artie Kempner. The associate director is new father Eric Mandia, with lovely daughter Olivia and mom Lindsay at home. Broadcast associate Tyler Adair. Our technical director Clyde Taylor. Technical producer Clyde, and the TD is Tom Maslak. as a 4th and 6. And the Cowboys will call a timeout as the play clock about to run down. And coming up next on America's Game of the Week, it's a doozy. The Packers, who are all of a sudden reeling against the first place Minnesota Vikings. And they've gotten better and better. And the thing is, when we saw Minnesota early in the year, I know you thought that their defense was good, but they've turned into a tremendous defense, top 5 in the league.
They got big-time players. Harrison Smith is a guy I love at the safety position. Anthony Barr, Everson Griffin, a lot of good players, and Zimmer has been brilliant in leading them. They play aggressive, and then Teddy Bridgewater's been good enough with Adrian Peterson behind him at the running back position.
That helps to have Peterson too, and he's been great. So 4th down and 6 at this point. You're up 10. You don't have a field goal blocked, so you're just going to try and run it. Take some more time off, maybe get a first down. 4th and 6. McFadden, and we get a whisk. Play is dead. The 19th penalty of the day is coming. It's been ugly at times.
False start. Number 68, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be 4th down.
It's Doug Free. The right tackle.
Not making excuses, but just the reality with a new quarterback, different counts. Romo may hold it longer than the guys that've been on, and we've seen a lot of pre-snap penalties for the Cowboys, and that possibly explains some of it, but still unacceptable.
State Farm Game Break Show will bridge the gap between our game and the Vikings and Packers. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Scores and highlights, and they'll take you up to America's Game of the Week. At Indianapolis, they came all the way back. Matt Hasselbeck about to be 3-0 as a Colts starter. The Falcons are reeling, and on this 4th down play, they will go nowhere. The Dolphins will take over. With 1:04 to go, down by 10. They need a miracle at this point.
Romo's telling them he's coaching the defense now. He's saying, stay back, keep it in front of you. They need 2 scores. Tony Romo doing everything, and that's what leaders do.
John, I know there's a way to go here to evaluate, but if you're the Dolphins evaluating Dan Campbell, how would you do it?
Well, I think he's definitely provided a spark and lifted this team. I think there's still a talent gap that needs to happen, and you got to make up some of that, and that's going to happen in the offseason for the Miami Dolphins.
Meanwhile, Tannehill gets buried. Hardy was there first, and then he got some help from his friends, David Irving and company too. And you have to say there were a lot of turning points in this game. After Miami came back with a Stills touchdown to tie it at 14, and you felt they had all the momentum on their side, that's when I think Tony Romo really took over, because after that he led them on an 8-play 80-yard drive with a touchdown, and the Cowboys haven't looked back since that point. Near side looking for the tight end Jordan Cameron, incomplete with 27 to go.
Excuse me, Kevin, but it was, I think, very patient of Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan, as well as Tony Romo. It could be easy to say we got our quarterback, we got to throw it every down. Instead, they relied on Darren McFadden, this offensive line, and then finished the drive with Tony Romo to Des Bryant. But it was set up in large part by the running game, and they did it very effectively.
They also had a couple gaps. Jarvis Landry just let a kickoff bounce at the 3, and they started there, and then they had a personal foul on the punter, which led to the last field goal. Tannehill is going to let it fly. Dancing around by Landry, just goes down. Time is ticking away. They can't stop the clock here. This one is over from Miami. And the Cowboys are going to end their 7-game losing streak. And hang on, there's an injured player, and it's Byron Jones.
That's a guy they can ill afford to lose. Remember the quick turnaround. Morris Claiborne already out with the ankle injury. Byron Jones filling in. So hopefully for Dallas fans, Byron Jones is all right.
So they look at Jones. And we hope that he's okay. With 9 seconds to go now. They care for Jones. Cowboys about to wrap it up. Well, they put a couple seconds on the game clock. Obviously, this one is over, but now concern for Byron Jones, the outstanding rookie for the Cowboys, who I guess looked like he got his ankle rolled on that last play, and already with Morris Claiborne out with a hamstring injury, and they got to play on Thanksgiving in 4 days. That's something to watch for Dallas. Tannehill back, and good night. Dropped again. Back-to-back plays that he is sacked. And that time it's DeMarcus Lawrence, and that will do it. Tony Romo back, and so are the wins for the Dallas Cowboys today. Cowboys get the victory here in Miami to stop their 7-game losing streak. For Peter Schrager and John Lynch, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Now to Kurt and the guys back in L.A. We'll see you.